Alright. Hey, Junpei Bear here. I'm experimenting with, I have a new mic. Well, technically I have a pop filter with the mic. And, I'm going to do an hour-long video. An hour-long and 10-minute video. Yep. It might be boring. I don't know. So I don't really expect it to be very entertaining or anything of the sort. And it's really, part of it is just bloopers in the drawings that I did. Some of it is like just footage of pencil sketches and stuff. So honestly, I wouldn't really expect that much, but feel free to watch if you would like. If you would also like, you could always contribute to my Patreon or something like my coffee and all that stuff. That would be helpful. You don't have to, but it's a nice thought. Let me think. So, in these drawings, this one I'm drawing Rena and Estelle from Tales of Vesperia. Okay? So, like, I'm just drawing it like their clothes just being swapped. That's all. Yeah. So let's go over some of the videos that I will be compiling together to make the entire drawing. Like all these drawings. So like the first two clips will probably be, it's just like me just drawing Estelle and Rena. And the third clip afterward will be around 15 minutes. Will be Rena trying on Chinese clothes, particularly Han Fu Lolita, which means like it's Lolita but styled after Han Fu. With Lingji Liu from Kikonia. And then the next picture will be Rena and Rita Mordio from Tales of Vesperia again. So you can really tell I really like Rena because Rena's my favorite character, obviously. But yeah, I also like Rita and Estelle. So yeah. And they're doing another outfit swap. Around like 30 minutes in the video. Around 40 minutes in the video. This one is a blooper of me drawing Rika. I tried to draw her in that scene in Go where she was like angry at Keiji or something like that. I don't remember. Like she made fun of his metaphor or something. But I kind of was like, what if I played with it a little bit? I don't know, with the eyes. And then like, what if they bled from there or something? Sorry, I think I burped or something. I have no idea. Excuse me. And then around the 49-minute mark, I start drawing one of my signature that I've been putting in all my drawings. That's my signature. That might, like in the future. Well, I've already been putting it in, but in some of the other drawings. I don't put my signature on any of my anime drawings because it's just like, I don't really care what you do with my fan art, okay? Like, you can take it, I don't care. That's not the most important thing to me. Like, the most important thing to me is my actual art with my actual projects that I put a lot of my time into. The next one around the hour mark and the last drawing is a drawing that I'm drawing, like a character I'm drawing for my friend. Unfortunately, I accidentally deleted the other clip of myself drawing the female character. So that's really too bad for me. So, yep. Now we can actually proceed with whatever I want to talk about next. Okay, so I've just been recording some of this dialogue in separate clips. So this is my third day or whatever working on this clip, but I've taken a couple of days trying to get motivated to work on this stuff again. But like, alright, so lately life hasn't been super cool with me. Yeah, I'm gonna throw in a random life update. I'm gonna just ramble about a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know, man. I just feel like I'm in a standstill. Like, I did an old thing for a while and I stuck with it, and now I have to move on to other things, and it's just like, I don't know. It's like this point where you ever feel like you're gonna mess up. I'm right now. I'm just so afraid of making mistakes. Like, I feel like if I move on to a new thing, if I mess up, what's gonna happen? I feel like, what if I don't like doing that new thing? What if I hate it? What if I mess up or something? And then I just feel like I don't know if I can do it, knowing that I'll mess up. And then it paralyzes me. And then the same thing is, okay, what if I do the new thing? I do like doing it. But then one day I make a mistake, but that mistake accidentally ended up being so bad that I messed it up. And I don't know what will happen if I mess up. I'm so afraid of making mistakes. I just feel like you try to do something to change your life. If you make one wrong move, it'll screw everything up in your life. And I'm so scared of that. So I'm kind of being vague about it, because I don't really actually like sharing my personal thoughts on everything, because I've just been thinking about it lately. Because just like, social media is super demanding. It's like, oh, you gotta learn all this stuff to just or you gotta find a thing with your audience and relate to them or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know how to relate to people. I literally feel like I cannot relate to anyone whatsoever. Like, we have things in common, but I don't feel like I have much of a mental connection or much emotional connection to people. I have friends in real life, but I think I used to. I feel like I used to be able to make a lot more connection online, but now I don't know. I've just been through way too many things to actually have something that I would consider a healthy connection. I do have some online friends, but like, I like making new friends, but I can't connect with people. I don't know. I feel like I can't go up to people because I don't want to bother them. I feel like it's the same reason why I'm at the standstill in my life right now. I don't know what I'll say that'll screw things up, and then I'll no longer. I could make one mistake and they no longer want to associate with me because, I don't know. Let's just be honest. I mean, sometimes when you're not well, yeah, you'll come off as toxic. Maybe it's just my vibes or my energy or something. I wish I could do them positive vibes all the time, but I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be fake, but it's just like, I don't want to share about how much I'm like, oh, this happened in my life, that happened in my life, and it's like, I don't know, man. It just feels like it's so hard for me to try to talk about or express my experiences, because it's like, even with my happy experiences, I feel like most of them are like, they're like dominoes. I built them up, and it looks like a really good line. I feel like, oh wow, I think things are really looking up or something. And I have a lot of fallen dominoes here, but like, hey, this one's looking good, and then something happens and life, and suddenly all the dominoes that I was trying to build there is all knocked down. Sometimes I try to rebuild that line and I don't know, it just collapses again. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm like, I thought it was supposed to be better. But so anyway, I was glad that I kind of got that thought out. I couldn't for the longest time try to come up with that thought because sometimes you have to be careful what you say on the internet. Otherwise, it could sabotage you some way, and I don't want to be bitten in the butt if that happens. So I have to talk carefully just in case, because you always have to talk carefully in case. But like for a bit I couldn't think of what I could say, and I've been pretty unmotivated, and I guess you could say I was pretty lazy to do anything for a while. Like, I mean, I kind of had something that kind of reflected that. If you go on my TikTok, which is also Junpei Berry, Junpei Berry, you'll also see that I was kind of fooling around on there with some experimenting. I really wanted to put some of my art TikToks on there, but I just couldn't for a bit. Well, I mean, if somebody sees this in the far future, which I doubt because YouTube's algorithm will probably bury all my stuff anyway, that I kind of had that time where I kind of dipped in my mood. But yeah. So I don't know. Like, I mean, technically those art TikToks are basically all the old videos on here. But yeah. Like, but I really like how I had the medium basically help express a thought that I wanted to express, but not too unhealthily. Like, I kind of try to make vent accounts in other places so that I'm not too screwed up or something. Please ignore that my phone was opened up to TikTok. I hope you didn't hear anything. That's embarrassing. Because like, I have some vent accounts on here. On somewhere, not on YouTube. But I keep most of my online stuff private. I don't try, since usually when I post on Twitter stuff, I don't know if I'm being buried or I'm deliberately being ignored or something, or my stuff is just crap or something. I don't know. But like, I mean, it's just that I have no idea. But I mean, I don't have most accounts that I make. Nobody follows me anyway. No, I don't have much online connection. I try to keep my friends out of some of those issues. I mean, sometimes I'll tell people my issues, but like, I won't rely on them for everything. But at least I have outlets. I try sometimes. Like, I might struggle with a mental illness. I have no idea. But I don't have a therapist. So I make do with whatever resource I will make or take or whatever. I'll do my research, try to find a way to calm myself down, I just talk. Like, sometimes I just talk at night. I just talk. And I'm all by myself and I just talk out my feelings. Not everyone can do that though. Because like, I don't know, people judge, or like, if you have parents who overhear things, you might get hit or something, which really sucks for those people. But I don't really expect kids to be watching my content because no, I don't want to be kid friendly. I'm sorry if you think I am. No, I'm not. I mean, I try not to cuss because I'm not always comfortable with it. I try to be. Sometimes I'm not. Depends. It's kind of my attitude toward things. I don't want to be too inappropriate. Like, which I kind of struggle with. I'm like, oh, sometimes I want to go crazy. But then I'm like, am I being too crazy? Like, I don't want to offend people. I mean, I don't mind offending conservatives. I just don't want to offend, like, someone. Maybe maybe they're not comfortable with it because of their identity or or how they, well, if they're ace, some people may be comfortable, maybe they're not comfortable, and I'm just like, I don't want to be like that. I want to make things comfortable for those people, or I try my best. I'm not good at it yet, but I try to do my research. I'm a sheltered person, that should be obvious. Like, I throughout my school years up to college, and so that's like 25ish or more long years or something. I've been sheltered for a long time. I don't really know much about what's going on. Sometimes, like, I've seen people talk about stuff on Twitter, no, Tumblr, I'm sorry, a long time ago when I was like 18, back when people were like, some political discourse stuff. I didn't really know how to feel about it, but I'm like, oh, okay. My attitude toward the world is I don't know anything about anything. I never know what I'm doing, never know what I'm saying, because I've always tended to make people angry as a kid, unintentionally. I don't know. I try my best. And like, some people are like, I'm afraid, I don't want to be afraid to walk on eggshells and offend anyone. And I'm like, my entire life I was wandering around on eggshells for other people, and I'm always going to feel this way for the rest of my life. I don't see how this is any different now. Like, of course, you should watch what you say. You don't want to hurt people. You don't want to hurt their feelings out of malicious spite. I mean, if you don't like making people feel bad, you especially don't want to accidentally make them feel bad. I don't know, that's just me. I know some people that deliberately like making people feel bad. I don't like them. And yeah. But, so, I don't know, man. I just never really. I mean, I try to learn all these things, but I've never really. I don't know. Please ignore any background sounds. I try to relate to people, but it's really hard for me to relate to people. I don't know what I got. It's just, I feel like if I don't have physical relationships with other people, and those relationships allow a bridge to other people, because I just feel emotionally incapable of connecting with people. I just feel like I'm not even a person. But then again, when I think about it, I've always been kind of dehumanized as a kid. Like, some people would literally call me a monster or literally an alien. Yeah, that's probably oversensitive of me, but like, when you're a kid, you get bullied. That's what those things do. But you know what? Whatever. I mean, because I've always had that dehumanization, I've always put myself below others. Because it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, they're not gonna treat me well anyway. Like, and I don't like getting in people's way because that just causes more trouble. So they might as well just let them treat me that way, I mean, that's not right. And I should have self-respect. But I don't know, that's how I've always felt about things. I mean, if you try doing that with me now, I don't think so. I don't think that would work. Because I was living with some people with a year who thought they could do that with me. You can try to disrespect me, like, by being constantly racist to me or whatever, which would happen with people that I lived with for a year. But you'll never hurt me as much as some of the closest people that I thought were supposed to be there for me were. I mean, that's not really anyone's business, though, because It's just like, you know, a lot of that is just resentment, some of it, but like I'm basically mostly over it, and I'm just knowing, like, if some people try to, like, they don't know any better to try to express worry for you other than it not being that good, well, then you gotta be like, I know you're mad because you're worried, but, you gotta just give me some space or something. You gotta calm down. And, okay, you know what? Yeah, I understand there's some misunderstandings. I'm gonna just get over it. When I was younger, that used to be harder. At least, like, for before that year, I lived with those abusive people. But, you know, now that I'm back home, it's like a breath of fresh air. I can handle it. At least I'm more adult in that emotional aspect. The thing that I need to get over now is my fear of making mistakes. I gotta stop being such a perfectionist, or thinking like, oh, I have to make sure what I'm going to do is going to be absolutely perfect, or otherwise I can't do it. I'm not gonna know what happens if I mess up. And I'm gonna be honest too here, with my art. That's also the same thing that happened. Like, the reason why I don't do any physical stuff with Patreon or coffee or whatever, I'm like, what physical benefits could I offer anyone? I feel like I'd always mess up my physical work or something. What if the mail sends in my work all accidentally beat up, and the person is gonna be like, the thing that you commissioned me is all messed up. I mean, nobody commissions me or whatever, but I don't know. I just worry that I would mess it up somehow, and I don't know, because all my life I tend to kind of always made mistakes or mess up. Sometimes when I was drawing physically, I would I don't know how many times I've drooled on my own work and mess up the drawing, and I just feel awful. Like, I don't know. Sometimes when I drew something and I thought it was absolutely hideous, I would scribble all over it. Sometimes I would tear it up, but I'm lazy, so I probably just scribble all over it or something. But, yeah. I'm so afraid that if I do mailing packaging stuff, it would be ruined somehow. Then again, I'm also worried with digital stuff that somebody would try to scam me digitally or something. And then again, I'm also worried that, because, okay, I don't really like paywalls, even though but I do want to make things out of my hobby because I like drawing it, and I don't really like doing anything else. And I wish I could bring myself to be like everybody else and be able to do things normally, but I can't. I cannot. It's exhausting. I hate it. I can't tolerate it. I mean, I try. I think I could do it if I tried, but I think if I could do it if I tried, what if I messed up? And what if I made a mistake? And then I can't do anything because I have to do it perfectly. But if I do a thing to try to survive to make it perfect, then I'm going to mess up. And all I'm concerned with is like, oh no, I'm going to make a mistake. What am I going to do? But just the fact that I'm trying to do any of this is just, I don't know, I'm trying, I guess. I'm hoping. I've been trying to make comments on TikTok to people. I used to be a lot more open to making comments online on the internet, but like on YouTube, but people, I don't like how people are just so freaking toxic. I don't like how online some people can be so toxic, but I don't know. I've kind of worked it out. Like, I just block people I don't like. I've been working on that. Like, whatever, don't like their energy, block. They said something annoy me, block. You should do that too. For TikTok, like, I don't know, I kind of feel safe on there for some reason. I just feel like I can just make a comment or something. I've been practicing trying to deal with all making mistakes or whatever on there. I don't know. Well, we'll see. But uh, yeah, that, like, hopefully that'll help me practice somehow. Like, oh, I can comment on these. Maybe I can start commenting on everybody else's things. It's just practice. I don't know. Sometimes I try my best to practice being social by doing that. I don't know if that's any good. And I'll also be surprised if anyone actually watches this video and goes through my boring rambling and make it this far, because I'm not very amusing. I can tell from how I look at all the views on my YouTube channel. And I don't speak very brightly or something. I mean, if you're into ASMR, but I don't really like my voice or whatever. I like my voice when I'm singing. I was debating singing during this recording, but you know, I have a thing with singing where, like, I also might make mistakes somehow, and then I'll be like, oh no, what if I mess this up? And then it's like, oh god, why in the world? Sometimes I mean, I don't always struggle with mistakes. You can see in my art that I let myself just make mistakes all over. I don't even clean up my stuff because I'm just like, whatever. There's always going to be one thing I miss there. I'm just going to have to deal with it, and I wish I could just use that energy, use that vibe, use that solution with everything I do. I just feel like some of the way the world works doesn't even give it a chance. Like, resumes, scary. Job interviews, scary. Like, I just feel like, oh god, I know I'm gonna mess this up. There's just no way I'm gonna make it. I'm not social at all. I mean, I know it takes practice, but it's just like, can I just not do any of those things? I just want to be quietly doing things for myself, Is there anything wrong with that? But some people are gonna be like, of course there's something wrong with that. I guess it is wrong to people who can just function like it's a-okay. Man, I wish I could be just like you like that. And if you're like, whatever, you're just lazy. Wow, I wish I had the energy to be like you, where you could just call people whatever the heck you want and be as toxic as much as possible, and you don't even bat an eye. Dang, me being that toxic makes me feel guilty. Like, I guess you could say that's an enviable trait. Not really, because that just means that you're not actually a nice person. You know what I envy? People who are actually kind and compassionate and nice to others. Okay? Maybe you should have some compassion. If you disagree with me, you'll be like, whatever, I guess that's your thing. You can just think that. No point in arguing with you, and just get a block then. Some people, like, I'll just do that. I don't got time to deal with that energy. Like, I can barely deal with my own energy with how much I am such a perfectionist. Like, or how I will beat myself up verbally, or even in other ways, which is none of your business. But anyway, it's just like, I was even debating trying to summarize some of my favorite stories, like Higurashi and Umineko, but it would have been spoiler heavy if I tried to summarize the entire series. Plus, I would feel pretty bad if other people would be like, now you just ruined this entire series for maybe other people, or for me, or something like that. Because, like, other new people will try to get into it, but they'll think your summary is a-okay or whatever or something. Or like, I don't want to ruin the experience of Higurashi and Umineko, even though they're very long experiences, by spoiling the entire story. Because my stance would be like for it to be, I'm just summarizing the entire story with spoilers to see if anyone would actually like the story, and see like, oh, with twists like that, it might actually be worth reading. My attitude on spoilers has always been like, I don't see it. Unless I don't see it, I don't believe it. That is, I mean, not because like, oh, if I see it, I'll believe it. No, not like that. I mean, my capacity for suspension of disbelief is so high that even if I know an event will come in the story, my heart's already ready for it. I'm ready to cry it all out if it is coming in and it's sad. I don't care. Like, for me, it's as if I am experiencing that experience. That is enough. I don't care about the surprise or suspense. It's fine by me. I'm there to read for the experience, and that is experience. I guess, I don't know. I'm just round that part. You could say you're an idiot. That's fine. Okay, we can agree that I don't know what I'm talking about there. I won't block you there. I mean, unless you're gonna be like, oh, you are a whole bunch of derogatory terms that will come off as so toxic that, yeah, okay, that probably warrants a block or something. But we're civilized, reasonable people, right? Yeah, I'm sure we don't have to resort to derogatory or ad hominem stuff. I'm making tons of mistakes, but I'm not gonna bother editing. I guess another thing I could say that how I'm like, what I have also been doing is just like, I've just been adding a whole bunch of Chinese songs to my playlists and stuff. Like, because I've been on TikTok a lot, and I wish I could be on Douyin, but I don't have a iPhone. I have an Android, and I have no idea how to use a VPN or whatever. I'm sorry. I wish I was. I'm not tech savvy. That should be obvious already. That should be very obvious if you've been following me. I really wish I could. If I could be a little bit more tech savvy in the future, I feel like I want to try drawing on Adobe Fresco, and if I do that, I want to try using it to record on the Adobe Fresco, and I'll just go back to tablet drawing. Drawing on my phone is really screwing up my hands. Because when I do the digital drawing, I do it all with my hands. I do it with my fingers. Okay, I don't have a pen. You can tell I like traditional more. That's how I prefer it. But I always draw my work, so I don't know how to recover from messing up my own things because I did something not cool. But yeah. Guess another topic I guess you could take this as this weird informal hangout because I don't know how to stream. I don't know how to make streams, so maybe one day I'll try doing webcams to make stream stuff. But I haven't gotten a webcam yet. Even though I wanted to make that a goal for a long time and I really wanted to get a camera, but oops, my bad. Maybe I should try doing those Patreon goal things, but I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't have to rely on a whole bunch of people to do that. I don't think. I mean, it's already enough just kind of asking people to just support my hobby in general. So I don't think they need to do that. Hopefully not. So, I just think that when I drew, like, maybe one day I'll do that, like, just stream physically drawing, even though I'll probably draw my work and then you'll see how I screw up, and then you'll see how much I beat myself up, I guess. I don't know, maybe not. Um. Oh my god, do I have anything to talk about? I guess another life update would be like, oh, my fiance finally moved in with me. Hooray! In my house. And out of his toxic house. I don't know if I'll ever give the full story. I don't know. I don't want them to accidentally find me and start causing some drama. I hate that. I mean, I've already done some talking, but whatever. Some people like to act like they're completely innocent with it. I mean, I'm not a perfect roommate, but come on. Like, some people. Oh boy, the other day, I heard from him, my fiance, and he told me something so pathetic and petty. He said that basically one of his relatives basically rebelled against another relative because their one relative was on supposedly a different political spectrum than them, and because of that they got into right-wing politics to get back at them because they were kind of on left-wing politics. But let's just be honest, that's not really true, because it's like that one relative doesn't like black people, and the other relative that was into the right wing is into black. He likes black people, but he was so xenophobic. And pretty much xenophobic toward Asians in general. Like he'll be like, oh, I have Asian friends. It doesn't matter. You still say xenophobic and racist stuff, and xenophobic stuff. Especially me being Chinese. He was so heavily xenophobic. When I'd be like, hey, my culture, we do this, and he's like, well, this is America, and it's like, okay, this isn't your country, buddy. Okay, this is stolen land. If anything, we are all immigrants on this. But well, no, it's more like you're kind of like a colonizer. Let's just be honest here. But yeah. Okay. And it's more like I'm the immigrant. But yeah. But okay. And it's like, all these cultures are here together, right? It's not just about you. Some people. It's just like, really? Just really? But just hearing that that person got into right-wing politics simply because their other relative wasn't into that, supposedly, even though that said relative was like, they proclaimed to be a supremacist in jail to get away from a black woman, and it's like, okay. Okay, that's wow. So it's like, either way you put it, even if no matter what politics they're on, they're both racist. They're no different from the other. They're just hypocrites picking and choosing their minorities. You can't do that. There's no good or bad minority. There's good and bad people. And they were both bad people. Let's just be honest. But like, just imagine how petty, desperate, and pathetic you have to be in being a rebel to just deliberately go into right-wing politics and basically kind of become like a nationalist and a supremacist. And it's like, you did all that for that reason. What a joke. Same person said, I'm trying to make the world a better place. Okay, last time I checked, on New Year's Eve or New Year's, wishing that the Geno side, get what I'm saying, is on like 1 billion Chinese people is what is it? Oh, is that really helpful? Is that really good? Because look what happens now. Look at all these rises in attacks on Asians. Okay, this pandemic has really shown how much they hate all people of color. It's so disgusting how even if you're not East Asian, you'll get dragged into it too. That's just awful. You shouldn't even be attacking or blaming people in the first place. But anyway, I would always apparently step on someone's toes in their group, whatever, and piss them off, and I have to always do the apologizing. But would they ever really apologize to me? No, they give me these half-hearted apologies and be like, oh, but you know what? Da-da-da-da-da. That's not a real apology. You say, I'm sorry, blah, 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 and then you leave it at there. There's no, oh, but you did this. No, that's not an apology. There's none of that. No. And that's just there's other worse things, but I don't think we're ready for that. And I don't know if I'm ready for that. Because some things they're heavy. Some people, sometimes you look up the formal definition of something, or what qualifies technically as a certain type of action, and those people will deny it and be like, oh no, this isn't what this definition is. This is what I think it is. That's right. And because this person also agrees with me, I must be right. Therefore, you don't know anything. And, especially if they're like, you don't know anything about it. They did something to you and, you're just oh man, this thing has bothered me for quite a while. So I look it up. I think about it for an entire year, which is, I think that's plenty of time to actually think about it, research about it, and all that other stuff. Let's say, for example, you look up what technically abuse is, and it includes threatening people. Some people will claim, oh no, I'm not abusing someone, I just threaten them. I just be like, if you don't do this, I will break your stuff. I will slap you or something, or I will do something that will make you emotionally freak out. Now that's abuse, okay? Or when people try to be like, spanking isn't abuse. I just hit my child a little bit. I didn't actually really hit them. And so it's like, no, you still did something, okay? Well, it's kind of like that as an example, okay? I won't say what it is, but if you look it up, I'm not gonna say it, but if you looked up certain things, that what constitutes as a certain action, you can figure out, oh, you probably messed up. But oh no, they didn't want to recognize that they probably messed up. They're just like, oh, if this happened, wouldn't I have done this and that? If you did the research, you would actually know that actually does qualify. Or when people think about what harassment is, they don't realize that saying a whole bunch of mean stuff or making people simply uncomfortable simply qualifies as harassment. You don't need to put your hands on someone, okay? You could simply say something that is just awful and make things uncomfortable for them. How about that? Okay? It's called research. You can look it up and what constitutes as a harassment, or or like with minor actions of a bigger problem like abuse, and you will find it. You will find it. It will qualify. Some people will be like, no, it doesn't qualify. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Look it up online. People will agree with me. Okay? It's in the facts right there. It's in a law. It's right there if you look it up on Google. Like, what constitutes as harassment or abuse? You'll look up like emotional, mental abuse, and like even these little things. Yeah, just you're just lucky because none of those things are physical. But it still makes you awful. Just because you don't put your hands on people or whatever. Like, no. Like, if let's say you were to be like, oh, when my kid makes me mad, I squeeze their hand. That's abuse. Okay? But yeah. Sorry, I kind of got bitter there. I'm pretty pissed off that some people will say, I don't know anything, when I did my research. I thought about it for a year. I thought about it for a year. How is that not long enough to consider that? Because I have self-doubt, perfectionist issues, like I explained before. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I want to make sure I know what I'm doing, so I do the research, and then be like, maybe it isn't that. Maybe I have to make sure just in case, because I no longer can trust my own judgment, because I always screw up, and I always make other people mad. How can I trust my own judgment when people think that I am accidentally or deliberately malicious or something? I don't know. And sometimes, yeah, I've acted toxically, that's true. And I don't know. I am not capable enough to, not on my own, I guess. Because I mean, one time I did see a therapist one time when I was like 16 for different reasons, which has nothing to do with my actual mental problems in general, as far as I know, because I was a minor and I didn't really, I don't know, it's kind of, that's a complicated subject, and I don't think I'll ever really dig into those types of details. But if I could ever afford it or something, maybe I will go back to therapy, because like, that's important. The problem is America's like health and system, and I'm gonna include mental health is also health, because mental health also can affect your body, is like, it's completely screwed up. And look at how they've handled what's been going on in the world. It's awful. Like, there's just no way. I don't know. But yeah. I mean, I try to keep my chin up and stuff, you know. I keep myself distracted. That's why I don't resort to heavy stuff, and I don't want to. There's still a lot out there. Some people will be like, the world is an awful place. Yeah, it can be. But there's good things too if you look hard enough. I mean, I know there's definitely. I mean, it may sound insensitive if I say it like that during this time. I mean, to be honest, yeah, I think it's awful too. You really have to look in different places to at least try to distract yourself from how things are right now. I mean, don't delude yourself and think, oh no, nothing's wrong, everything is beautiful. You don't want that. That's just being toxically positive. Yes, there is bad things going on, and I mean, it's okay to take a break. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. we got 20 more minutes to talk. So this video will finally be finished. And, I don't know, we'll see how this experiment goes. Think of it kind of like a weird hangout where I just talk a bunch of stuff. And, you can't live stream with me since I don't know how to do that yet. But, if you want to, like, talk or, like, comment on the video while the video is going on and kind of, like, have, like, a conversation where I'll just comment back or something like that. That's cool, I guess. I'm not a very good conversationalist, but I'll try my best. But yeah. But, I mean, I guess if I could talk about other things. I've been giving myself other hobbies other than video making and all that stuff. Like, I've been getting into them skincares lately with the K-beauty stuff. And I've also been I've decided that I'm officially off my language hiatus. Because, before I was learning how to speak and write in Japanese. And I was going to use that part of that as a kill two birds with one stone to actually have some knowledge of Chinese characters so I could read Chinese. Because I can already speak some Chinese. Just the elementary level since I'm, whatever. But, for Cantonese. But, then I wouldn't be illiterate when I read Chinese. And maybe I might be able to understand Mandarin. So I've decided that not only would I be learning Japanese, I'd be learning Korean, I'd be learning Chinese, Mandarin, I'd be learning Cantonese, and we'll see where that goes. Because I like to know all of this stuff, and I want to. I know that a lot of my interest is right now culturally is mostly East Asian, and one day I do want to expand that knowledge because there's a lot more to the world out there. But yeah. Oh wait, and I've been a little bit curious about Vietnamese, cause my family, they immigrated to Vietnam a long time ago. This was way before I was born. And they had adopted Vietnamese last names and stuff and lived as technically Vietnamese people, but they were Chinese for a bit, and then they had to immigrate to the US, and I was born, and so my mom's had some of their food culture stuff and some of the cultural stuff in there, so I kind of know a little bit, but yeah. Well, no, I don't know Vietnamese, but I kind of know some of the customs. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, I've heard some controversial stuff between Chinese and Vietnamese, and okay, yeah. Oof. Oh. Oof. I've heard some people talk about something called sinicization. I guess it sounds kind of like colonization. But, yeah. Because I've heard some people talk about the Shinosphere or something. Or the Sinosphere. I don't know. I don't really know too much about it. And people talking about East Asian and Southeast and South Asian, the prom stuff. And that sucks. I don't know. But I mean, I don't know. I've been following some people on Twitter. Maybe I should give in some plugins. I mean, I doubt anyone's gonna watch my stuff, but I mean, if it does, even though I'm completely unimportant, hold on. Let me look through my TikTok right now and find some people on TikTok that I could recommend that I kind of followed, but I don't bother to deliberately follow. I just kind of like, if they come along and I follow them, it will be fate that determines. I don't know. Like I'd rather some of these things come to me organically rather than I just search for myself. I don't know. Maybe it's ineffective. Maybe I should actually try deliberately looking more. But there's srirachalesbian. There's lyrothsombott. I think. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But I mean, I kind of first learned about it from somebody else. But I'm trying to look. Kim Chi squared or something, but it looks like kimchi squared or something. I don't know if I don't know if I'm doing this stuff right. Be honest, like okay, but this stuff kind of I don't know. I'm kind of shaky with knowing stuff. I'm not very good at like promoting or anything like that, or anything. I'm just kind of like, whoa, I'm trying my best here. Yeah, I'm kind of shaky, but yeah, I don't know. That's a small thing. I mean, those are just two right now. Maybe someday I should kind of do some more plugins, but I'm not really good at that. But I should definitely. I don't know. I'm kind of. Oh, I don't know. I've never done this before. I just feel kind of nervous when I do things I usually don't do, because okay, some people are like, people should do activism and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, I don't really see myself as a very actiony kind of activist person, because I don't know. I don't know anything about anything. I just try my best to listen to people, because I don't know. I don't really get listened to, and I think it's important to listen to other people. You know? But yeah, that's I don't know. But yeah. Okay. But oof. Okay, I gotta pick myself back up. Oh, and to be honest, I don't know how to like get involved with people in general, because I'm just like, I don't know how to relate with people. I'm just like, like, even I found like, even if I try to go look for people who have similar hobbies or interests, or they have similar identities to me in some way, I'm just like, how do I try to like relate or speak or anything or get involved? Oh boy, I wish I knew. But oh well. But yeah. Oof. Oh, I hope you could deal with all my disorganized rambling of because like I sure couldn't deal with me being a weirdo speaker. But yeah. I wonder what else could I say. I am not really sure. But oh right, I have also other art videos coming up in the future, but I want to focus on the first 3 that I wanted to get uploaded for a while, but I couldn't because real life kind of got in the way, and real life is still in the way. And one day I just want to make all my stuff freely, not worry about survival. Because to be honest, I just want to give out my content out to people, but artists gotta eat, you know. I've been looking up a lot of I've been seeing a lot of like the manga industry, some of that stuff. I mean, I think I've talked about Yoshihiro Togashi and Miura, and I recently heard something about the author of Jujutsu Kaisen, but I haven't read that manga. But like, artists gotta get treated better in general. Even like the independent people like me or other people. I mean, I'm not really that independent because I'm just awful at this, but we all deserve to be treated better. We all deserve to be treated nicer. We're always taken for granted, and it's a super shame. But yeah, I don't know if I said this before, but maybe as another plug-in. I mean, if you want to treat some artists nicer, I guess if you liked me, you could treat me kind of. You could like just donate to my Ko-fi or my Patreon. I mean, only if you have to, or something. I mean, it'd be kind of cool. My Patreon's kind of lonely. Could use some company. There's like my dollar tier or something. I mean, I'm open to people talking to me. I'm just super awkward when I don't want to be. And because of how sheltered I am. But I guess I could share another thing. I've actually been kind of socializing with my fiance's friend group. They're technically my friends too, since I knew them from high school. But I never really got to talk to them like as much as I would have liked before. Like, that was fun. And we had like a water balloon fight, and that was really fun. And like, I was at Costco the other day, and I saw like the water balloons that were similar to what my friend bought, and they were in all kinds of different colors. And like, I want to make all kinds of like, I wish I had like enough money, a lot. I mean, I was financially like stable enough to try to buy that set, because like, then we could play a lot of water balloons and have a lot of fun, because it's summer. Oh, right, I forgot. Like, I was getting into that skincare stuff, and I was like doing that the sunscreen stuff. Oh, right. Oh, the languages stuff. But wait, I already talked about the hobbies. Do I have any other hobbies that I tried to get myself into recently? I'm trying to desperately remember, but I'm so scatterbrained that I cannot remember. I suppose I could try doing another plugin. But this time not for me. But my fiance, he's also an artist as well. You could also help him out. He's a great artist. He's better than me. He's much better than me. On Twitter, there's at jolvus. That's JOLVUS. Arc Demon Fate on Twitter. Right now, he's holding commissions. Right now, he can draw and all that stuff. But you want to know something? He likes Warhammer and D&D and all that stuff. Especially like Warhammer, like Age of Sigmar stuff. And I don't know if anyone's into that, but he paints them too, and he paints pretty good models. You should check it out. It's on, most of his stuff is on his Twitter if you look. And like, if you do check it out, that's pretty cool. He's really talented. Like, I'm so afraid to try to delve in my talents. I don't really think I'm very talented or anything. I mean, I draw, but I don't know, I'm kind of one trick pony. I mean, I can sing, but I'm shy, and I don't really like singing in front of people. I like to keep the stuff I like about myself sometimes. I like to keep about it to myself. Sometimes I guess I'll kind of show off, but I get kind of, it's kind of embarrassing to just put yourself out there. But, you know, if you're an artist, you gotta put yourself out there. And I'm like, if it was my choice, I'd rather kind of just be like a hermit. Kind of like, I work in my own corner. People don't know who I am. And I'm just like, these things magically appeared by an invisible force or something. Because, I don't like being perceived. Like, if it were me, I'd actually rather have somebody ghost everything. Like, they would be my face, they would be my voice, and all I do is draw. And they would probably be much better at marketing my work and marketing in general. I cannot market. Like, what? I don't know how to find my niche. I don't know. Oh. But, yeah. Like, that'd be so cool if somebody could just be my face for me. And, I mean, I could definitely sing then. Like, because then, well, they would be my face and they could do the lip syncing of the singing for me, because I don't want to have people see my face ever. Like, I like being a private person. I like to keep things to myself, but I can't work on my hobbies if I keep things to myself, because I can't survive unless I don't keep things to myself. Great. The only time I could ever actually survive and keep things to myself is if I were rich. Like, I kind of wish, like, that would be so nice. Like, if people, artists, no one had to worry about survival. And I do believe that technically, isn't humanity technically capable of it, but technically they don't let that happen because they have some screwed up system. A system called, I don't know, capitalism. But, I got really political here. Listen, don't really take my politics seriously, because I do watch a lot of political YouTubers, and I listen to a lot of people. I just listen, but, I mean, I kind of try to do research, but, like, I don't know. I try, but there's a lot of people that you could probably get your information from, and that isn't me, and I don't really know how to get information, and, like, but yeah. Sorry about that, but, like I said, this content's not really for kids, and, growing up, I thought politics was, like, supposed to be a boring subject, but I'm kind of fascinated, but also horrified, because this world is depressing. I thought when I was born, and I was 5 years old, I thought this world was already depressing because of the way colonization has affected how, like, the aesthetic of the world. Because a lot of things are just westernized. Like, people don't dress from their cultural identities and stuff. I'm like, that's so depressing. And, like, I was already depressed about that. Like, but it's even worse than I thought. But yeah, but this video will probably wrap up soon. But how soon? That is definitely a good question. It looks like, oh god, I have no idea. Maybe 1 more minute or something? Or 2 more minutes? Oh, I should probably hold on, I'm gonna check my timeline on my Adobe thing. Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that. Oh yeah, it looks like about 1 more minute. Because this video is about, the rest of this video is 11 seconds. 11 seconds, so it's 2 minutes and 11 seconds to speak. But if you somehow made it through this thing and just listen to me ramble. And I feel pretty guilty if you did, because I didn't want to burden anyone with making super long videos and stuff, because it's just like, what am I going to talk about? I have nothing to talk about. I'm nothing to share. I'm not relatable. I'm nothing. I have a bunch of stupid thoughts. And oh wait, oh man, okay, I shouldn't use that word. I mean, I gotta work on my language. I mean, you know, because I don't want to have that internalized, the stuff. But, because I don't want to be, like, ableist or whatever, but, oh, right. Thanks for watching and listening to me ramble. And, sorry that I'm not very confident. Okay. Alright. Thanks. Like, share, follow, whatever. Subscribe, whatever.